Impact weather tonight and on Monday and Tuesday, but for very different reasons. Tonight it's wind and storms. Early in the week, it's just how cold it gets, and then beyond that, there are snowflakes in the forecast. We'll update you on all the topsy-turvy January weather coming up.
Praying for peace after a violent start to the new year. What county leaders have to say.
I'm Jackie Diffusco in Washington with what the New Orleans attack reveals about the threat of terrorism in the United States.
Live, local, late breaking. WVTM 13 News at 5 starts now.
Good evening to you. I'm Gladys Bautista. Thank you so much for joining us for the news at 5. Our top story tonight, the bitter cold. But for right now, all is mostly calm in the Magic City. You're taking a live look from our Regions Field Skycam. 51 degrees outside. It is a little bit soggy, but the weather right now is pretty good compared to what we are about to expect coming our way. Be sure to grab those umbrellas, coats, scarves, and hat. Storms and those cold temperatures are expected for us very, very soon. Chief Meteorologist Jason Simpson joining us now with a look at our forecast. Jason, we're really just going to have to bundle up and keep those umbrellas handy.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those forecasts that you want to hang on to every piece of it because there are multiple waves of different kinds of weather headed this way. Showers out there right now. The wind has only been gusting to about 20 so far in Birmingham. It's much higher in the Tennessee Valley, but as a batch of wind and rain over Mississippi starts to move this direction, not only does the temperature rise, it's been chilly and breezy and damp all day. I think we're going to be close to 60 by midnight. And then we've got this wave of showers and thunderstorms moving toward northwest Alabama as we speak. There's one severe thunderstorm warning that includes parts of I-55 to the north of Jackson, Mississippi. That round of stormy weather is coming in here, but it will run into this cooler air, and that means the storm's probably not much of a chance to be severe tonight, but it will be blustery. Some wind gusts could go over 40 or 50 miles per hour, potentially an inch of rain, if not a little more, over the western part of the state, and a very limited risk of severe weather primarily west of Birmingham. So when can you expect those strong wind gusts? Well, between now and 10 p.m., Hamilton, Fayette, Aliceville, Vernon. After 8 o'clock and through about 11 o'clock this evening, Jasper, Coleman, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Utah. After 10 p.m., the wind and the rain are the worst over East Alabama, including Gadsden, Talladega, Anniston, and then down through Shelby County. I'll update you on not just tracking this, but looking at the cold and the threat of wintry weather coming up. Gladys?
All right, Jason, thank you. Well, the cold weather is upon us, and that is why plenty of warming stations will be open across central Alabama starting tomorrow. From Monday through Thursday, Birmingham's Jimmy Hill Mission will be open from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. Food will be provided and transportation will be offered from the main entrance of Lynn Park. That is at Park Place and 20th Street North. Pathways will also be open to women and children only. You can also take part in helping by donating. Right now, the Jimmy Hill Mission is accepting these items you see on your screen. That includes fresh fruit, paper plates, napkins, and snacks. You can drop off those donations at the shelter. And there are also warming stations that will be open in several other counties from Etowah to Coleman County. You can find a full list of warming stations at our website, WVTM13.com, or by downloading the free WVTM 13 app. Happening tomorrow, Mayor Randall Woodfin and the Birmingham Crime Commission will be addressing the media. It is set to begin at 10 a.m. Our cameras will be there and bring you updates tomorrow morning beginning at midday. The news conference comes as the city sees a deadly start to the new year with 2 homicides so far in Birmingham and 4 homicides in Jefferson County overall, 5 days into 2025. That is why right now the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office is hosting a prayer night for peace and protection at their headquarters. That is where we find WVTM 13's Bryce Olselin live for us tonight. And Bryce, what do officials have to say?
Yeah, Gladys, this is the first prayer night of the year. The department says it's important to host events like this given what they've seen already this year. Now, we're going to peek in. It's still taking place right now. You see people are gathered here praying for peace in the community. The department has done this since 2019 and says starting the year with prayer nights uplifts the community. There have been 4 homicides in Jefferson County already this year, one involving a pizza delivery driver who was robbed and shot on New Year's Day. And just this past Friday, a 13-year-old was killed inside his own home in Bessemer when someone fired into it. Chaplain Don Thompson believes prayers can move mountains to stop violence across Jefferson County.
Our prayers are made to a sovereign God, a God that created the heavens and the earth, God that created man. And so he's in charge of it all. So that's why we pray to him. He's sovereign. He's a Lord. He's a king, and we worship him. So when we pray, we expect things to happen.
The department will host a prayer night on the first Sunday of every month. Live in Birmingham, Bryce Osland, WVTM 13.
Bryce, thank you. Well, Birmingham police need your help finding a woman last seen in December at the Greyhound bus station downtown. This is Brittany Kimball, and right now she is considered critically missing. Investigators say she was waiting to catch a bus at the Greyhound station but missed it, and she hasn't been seen or heard from since. She was last seen wearing a red Alabama sweatshirt, black and white floral yoga pants, and white sneakers. If you have seen her or have any information on where she might be, call police.
We've also discovered that Jabbar made at least 2 trips to New Orleans in the months prior to the attacks. One in October and the other a month later in November of 2024. From what we now know, Jabbar stayed at a rental home in New Orleans beginning October 30th, 2024. He was in town at least 2 days.
That was the FBI sharing Shamsuddin Jabbar's timeline of events leading up to the deadly attack in New Orleans on New Year's Day. 14 people died in what is now considered to be the deadliest Islamic State-inspired assault on America. Washington correspondent Jackie DeFusco gives us a closer look into law enforcement's concerns of future terror attacks.
Well, experts say that this New Year's attack reflects a long-standing trend, lone wolf attacks from radicalized Americans. But it also comes as there are concerns about threats brewing abroad. A New Year's Day attack in New Orleans.
This was an act of terrorism. It was premeditated and an evil act.
Underscoring a heightened threat that the FBI has warned about for more than a year since the Israel-Hamas war broke out in the Middle East.
Since October 7th, though, that threat has gone to a whole nother level.
Experts say counterterrorism efforts have grown since 9/11, and the Islamic State no longer controls territory, but its influence continues.
They realize they cannot carry out these very organized, high-level attacks that they once did, and so they're encouraging their supporters to pick up a knife, get in a car.
Authorities say the Army veteran who slammed a pickup truck into crowds celebrating on Bourbon Street Wednesday acted alone after being inspired by ISIS.
The vast majority of people who've been charged with Islamic State-related crimes are homegrown, which means that they were born here in the United States or they are U.S. permanent residents.
Officials say the New Orleans attacker was indeed a U.S. citizen. Despite that, President-elect Donald Trump wrote on social media, quote, "This is what happens when you have open borders with weak, ineffective, and virtually non-existent leadership."
This is not the time for politics. This is the time for national unity.
While the border does not appear to be a factor in this New Orleans case, it is a concern that the Department of Homeland Security addresses in a recent report, noting that in the next year, individuals with terrorism ties are expected to continue their efforts to exploit migration flows after hundreds of people on the terrorism watch list were encountered at U.S. borders in fiscal year 2024. Reporting in Washington, I'm Jackie DeFusco.
All right, very important information there, Jackie. Thank you. And tomorrow, President Biden will make a stop in New Orleans. He's expected to speak at a vigil honoring those who died and were injured in the terror attack. According to the White House, Biden will also meet with government officials on Friday from Maryland. He offered condolences to victims' families in a national address. Well, Huntsville's Redstone Arsenal Army Base announcing they are upgrading security measures in response to the recent terror attacks in New Orleans and Las Vegas. Officials say the new measures will include the temporary suspension of facial recognition and, quote, the Trusted Traveler program. To gain access to the base, each person in their car will need an agency ID card. If you don't have an agency ID card, you must now go through the Visitor Control Center. Carrying the legacy of Jimmy Carter. Up next, a look at how the Carter Center is looking to continue his life's work in his absence.
Wind, rain, and some thunder and lightning coming through tonight and early Monday morning. After that, it's just brutally cold. I'll show you how cold the wind chill will be tomorrow and Tuesday, and then look ahead to the threat of some wintry weather down the road coming up.